Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Pub Table Racers, another edition of our great show that we've been doing for over a year now. My name is Tim Packman, and next to me is my partner and co-host,
Warren Brosell.
Thank you very much. Good you got that right. How you been?
Good.
Good. You had a wedding this weekend?
Had a wedding this weekend. Not me.
Not yours. Your cousin. All went well?
All went well.
Okay.
A lot of fun up in the mountains.
That's good. Why do we have a bucket of beer, Warren?
We have a bucket of beer because this is Pub Table Racers. We like to sit around, drink beer, and talk about racing.
There you go. That's why we have a bucket of beer. And we have it in honor of our friend and our hero, Bobby Allison.
Bobby Allison.
Cheers to Bobby. Tonight's show, everybody, we are going to have our guest is Cory Roper, a NASCAR Camping World, I almost said Craftsman, showing my age. Camping World Truck Series driver and owner, and also owner of his own company. We're going to talk to him about his last weekend at COTA, racing in the rain, and then we're going to talk about this week, coming up to Charlotte, we're going to talk about what it's like to be a driver-owner. Also, we're going to talk about COTA, the experience they had out there.
Right.
Quite crazy.
Some good, some bad.
Yeah. We'll talk about that, and then we're going to talk to Cory. And, next week we have our guest already, Matt Philpott from Joe Gibbs Racing.
Matthew
Philpott. He is crazy, and he's funny. And I saw him last week. He goes, "Hey, man, I want to be on your show." I said, "Hey, man, what are you doing next Tuesday?" Okay. So that's it.
Good.
You'll be on.
That's a surprise. Is that my surprise?
No, I got another one for you.
Okay.
I think you'll like this one even better. So we have him on. He's from Joe Gibbs Racing. Our sponsors, we can't do the show without them. I did not drink to the toast home.
I know. Cheers.
Do I have to drink again? Okay.
Me too.
That was a push. Coming before you hire Koozie night. Rapid Removal, go see Darren Russell, 20-yard containers. Great guy. Check him out on Facebook, and he will take care of your needs if you're doing what he's saying. Remodeling, rebuilding, whatever you're doing, get rid of your materials. He brings a 20-yard container in, gets it right out of there. Rapid Removal.
Your shit is his bread and butter. I'm going to say that.
That's okay, I got it. Also, Warren, who do we have behind us?
We have
you.
RacingJunk.com.
Buy, sell, trade. If anything has wheels and you need it, check them out. They're great. Take care of all that. The Garage Shop, Aaron Brown, those guys over there. Another great episode, and I'm not saying that because I hosted it because we had Darrell Waltrip. We had a 69 Z28 Camaro that went 250 miles an hour and 1.25 miles. Interviews on there. Check them out on YouTube. And also Lake Norman Patio and Game Room. Our number one sponsor, Brad. All kinds of new items coming in. Like every other day, he's got another truck load, got another truck load. Go see him. And if you really want to see him and us at the same time, on June 5th from 1 to 2 p.m., we're going to be there live, and we're going to get Brad to come up with some Pub Table Racer discount for a certain item that day or a giveaway. So come on, join us. Now here's your surprise.
Here's my surprise.
Guess who's joining us for the show?
It's a surprise, so how can I guess?
All the way from New Jersey, our number one fan, Tom Beatty's coming down.
Really?
Really? Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he called me up there. He said, "Hey man, I'm coming down." He just says 10 days till PTR road trip to Mooresville. So
that'll be fun.
So after the show, do we take him out for beer and wings? Or
I think
have a full party and watch the race? Or what do we do?
Whatever he wants to do.
He's going to be on the show. We're going to talk to him for a little bit. Plus other guests. We're going to be doing that.
We're going to load up his truck with some stuff.
And you're taking a whole bunch of Miller Racing stuff home. Whether you like it or not. Okay.
Is that magnetic?
That's magnetic. I just found out. It's better than sticking a plate to my head. Also,
I had turned it off earlier.
Over the tire, what was that? OT. Over the tire tailgate system. Steve Tidmore. He is going to be in. I want to let us know. He'll be camping this weekend in Charlotte at the drag strip, and he'll have plenty of his systems that are available. Go see him. I'm sure you'll be able to finally have signs all over. We're going to see him on Saturday. Do a little thing with him, but he'll be in town. So there's your shout out, buddy. All right, let's talk about. Real quick. Speaking of YouTube, we have our YouTube channel. Please subscribe. It's totally free. Totally free. Go see all the old episodes. Plus, our audio is on Spotify, Google, Apple, and most podcast platforms. So if you don't want to see us, you just want to hear us, that's the way to go. We highly recommend that way.
Right. That's pretty good.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about the race this past weekend. COTA, big build-up, first time there. From the start-finish line to the first turn was 133 feet. You raced uphill, and
a lot of elevation there.
20 turns. I mean, just amazing course. It's
3 miles.
Yeah, and so they have the Xfinity. We'll go to the truck race now. Xfinity race. Kyle Busch won.
Pretty handedly. Yeah.
Stank some ass.
Yeah, it was. He ran away with it in typical Kyle
Right.
Busch fashion.
And I don't want to take away from him, but when you go down and you win the Xfinity race, it's like me going to the Sandlot and being an all-time quarterback and go, hey, here's your MVP trophy for the day.
Right.
Right. I wasn't a good quarterback.
You know, it's like we talk about. You know, Mark Martin used to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Burton used to do it. Harvick used to do it. Is it right? I don't know. In this day and age, I don't know.
Right.
But, you know, he wanted some laps on that track.
He got
Harvick was there.
Sure, I get that.
He didn't do very well.
He was out
Austin Dillon
there.
was there. He didn't do very well.
But Kyle was in his own stuff.
He was in his own stuff, but he was also in his own league.
Hey, look, if I was a team owner, he said, hey, I want to come race for you, I'd welcome him with open arms. That's just being honest. Then we go to the Cup race on Sunday. Holy rainy Batman.
Yeah, it was way too wet.
Way too wet. And they went beyond. I get, it's fun in the rain, but it was when it was a Cole Custer and Truex deal happened. That was.
There's fun and then there's dangerous.
That was the game.
And it got dangerous. And I think Scott Miller, I watched his interview
From NASCAR,
afterwards talk about how they learned from it.
Right.
And they went too long, and next time it won't be like that.
And I give credit when they had the caution. I said they're going to end this right now, and sure enough, they did. So Chase Elliott, your reigning champion, is now back in the playoffs. So what's that? 11 winners and 14 races. 2.
Something like that, and all Hendrick cars are in.
Yeah, there you go. Hey everybody, we really appreciate you watching us every Tuesday night on Pub Table Racers. And Warren and myself say thank you, but we need a favor.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, as Elvis would say. Cheers.
Cheers.
We need you to do us a favor. On our YouTube channel, just give us a subscribe. It's free. We appreciate it, and that's all we really need.
Right.
Also, check out our website. What do we have there, Warren?
We have clothes, we have hats,
Right.
we have
Tumblers, yeah.
And, anything else you need that it has to say Pub Table Racers, we'll make it.
And we have children's books, award-winning children's books too, so check them out. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. YouTube, subscribe, totally free. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Cheers.
Here we go. Appreciate you. We'll talk about the truck race. Todd Gillen won, right?
Yes.
Yes, he did. Sorry. But you know what? Before we get to that, we're gonna talk to a guy who was in the race and can give us a in-person, on-track perspective. Cory Roper. He's from Vernon, Texas. Started racing in 2018 Truck Series. Started in Martinsville. He ran 5 others later. He's been on a part-time schedule.
Bring your cooler. Bring your cooler.
That's it.
Just gonna be an hour.
Part-time. Has a couple top 10s in there. And in addition to being a driver owner, he's also a business owner of Preferred Industrial Contractors. We'll talk about that. Cory Roper, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thanks for being Pop Table Racers.
Thank you.
Good to have you, man.
And 2 things. 1, he brought his own beer, which I think is awesome. And 2, he flew in from Texas to do the show tonight.
Right.
On his way down to, we're going to go to Florida to do some
I
fishing.
gotta go to Florida for wishes fishing.
All right, so you were in the
First
race.
of all, Cory, I didn't see one lap of that race.
So-
I was at a wedding. I didn't get to see one lap of that race. So,
I didn't either.
So he was driving, he didn't get to see one lap of that race.
Cory, you were in the race. How did was it that bad? Oh, God.
First of all, I appreciate you having me on.
No, my
It's
pleasure, my
experience.
pleasure,
Anytime you sit down and drink beer and talk about racing, it's a good day,
Absolutely.
right? No, it wasn't bad except on the restarts, and luckily we didn't really have any full course cautions until the stage ends. But it's pretty hairy there for when all the cars are bunched up before they got spread out. And like I said, you go down the back stretch and the front stretch, you look up. You don't look forward, so you just try to survive and get spread out a little bit.
So when you're saying you're looking up, you're looking out through your windshield of something that you recognize, so you know where you're at on the racetrack.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's that, and you're listening to the engine, just trying to find.
Okay.
So,
find a good
real
way.
quick, practice. The first practice laps you went there, what were those like? Was it raining or was it dry?
No,
when
it
you
was
track?
dry.
Okay.
You're just trying to stay on the track, man.
Mhm.
So very cool. It was a very fast track. I know there's a lot of bad things been said, just because not bad, but it could be dangerous, and it was.
Right.
I mean, there needs to be a point, but I personally enjoyed it. I thought that was one of the coolest tracks I ever got to race on.
Really?
I may be a little biased because I'm close to.
Sure.
I live there. You know, me and my wife live 144 miles from that track, so. I don't know. It's a very cool place to be. First time I ever went there, I walked that whole entire track before I went out and practiced on it, and
You walked the whole track?
every inch of it.
So,
Okay.
so this
Yeah,
came
about 3.2 miles. I was thinking was a bad idea.
That's what I was going to ask you. I was like, hey man, is there a golf cart I could take or something like that?
this came in my mind, you know, because you are a little bit underfunded team, a little bit lower buck team. Did you have any kind of simulation? Were you able to get in anybody's sim or drive, you know, a video game before you got there?
Yeah, I mean, I built my own.
Okay.
You know, my own sim.
Good deal. See, this is how it goes, folks.
You built your
I built my
I
own.
built my own. Perfect. What a racer.
No, it helped. It really did help. The thing about it is it wasn't. It as far as helping display, it helped 90%, right? But then there was just so much different that it actually was. You know, some of the things you can change on the sims, you couldn't. You know, it's not like the car. So the shift points wasn't the same. Some of your lift points wasn't where they needed to be. Some of the things you picked out on the sims wasn't there. So made it a little bit difficult the first few laps, and then we had brake issues. So I think we made like 9
Not that they're
laps.
important in a road course.
Well, and they were, you know, when you go to something like that, everything's brand new. You work so hard on, especially those particular components on the
Yeah,
race car.
that items is at a road
And we
course.
still don't know what it was. We replaced everything at the racetrack, and it was the same thing. So we had a line that was expanding on us, or a banjo fitting that was leaking or something. But so I fought brakes the entire race.
A fade? A low
It
pedal?
was.
Or a
something
lock
about that.
up on one of the rights or lefts?
No, it was that elevation. You come down the front stretch and you're
Okay.
just pumping. You go up that elevation, you make turn 1, you go down through the S's,
Mm-hmm.
and you never had back brakes until you went down the back. You never had brakes until you went down the
Huh.
back stretch again. I don't know what it was, and once we go down the back stretch, you're just pumping. And I mean, after that, that night after the race, my thighs just sit there and spaz because I just worked off. It was a pretty tough night, but then I could gain back brakes and keep them for the majority of the rest of the course.
Sounds like maybe you needed a check valve wasn't working, or a proportioning valve was not something.
We replaced the cylinders,
Yeah.
both master cylinders before the qualifying, and I don't know. I mean, it never faded, it never went away. We just never had a break. So
Okay.
so that kind of frustrated.
They can't get hot if they're not there.
Yeah, well, in the rain. So
Yeah, they're keeping them
They're
cool.
water cooled.
yeah, so we had some issues there,
Yeah.
and then we after testing we threw a new throttle body on. We couldn't get the auto where we wanted it. It was a little bit too high, so it was kind of messing up some of our entries. So put a new throttle body on it right before we got to qualify, and the back linkage broke on the throttle body.
So you end up qualifying where?
I don't know. I thought that.
Okay, never mind.
32nd or
All right.
38
Right.
or 6th.
Well,
at least 32nd.
At least you
right.
made the race, some didn't.
Right.
There's some that did not make the race.
No, we wasn't fast, but we couldn't figure out what it was.
Okay.
About 4 laps into the race, I'm like, "Hey," and we were so fast during the S's and during all the technical spots that we get on the back stretch and they pull me 30 truck lengths, and then we come in after the race, and it's so frustrating because we had a really good truck. Shane and the guys did a great job building.
And who's your crew chief?
Shane Whitbeck.
Okay.
Yeah, they did a great job, beautiful piece, and then we just didn't have any horsepower, so which probably helped us through the technical part, right?
Right.
So
I guess,
better
you know,
than
aren't all those engines the same from
They
Elmore?
are, and I think they're great. They you know, I think what they did with the Elmore package and putting them in these trucks, the only reason I was able to get into it to start with. So I really like the engine package, and we just got our dyno up and running at the shop, and it's amazing how close they are for all the engines that we do. We got 3 that we try to maintain for
Right.
the series, but
Is there a A, B, and C package for engines? Like, are more predominant teams getting better horsepower than you, or
well, they say they don't.
or
But then you look out there and go,
So
oh, every week.
there's a new engine that just came out for the Kansas races. The first race you could have this upgraded package.
Okay.
And you know, we just don't have the funds to go put new engines and everything. So, you know, when we do our rebuilds, we'll get the upgrades on them. They're not supposed to be a horsepower advantage.
Right.
They're more of a
for longevity?
reliability
Yep.
advantage, and you know, so it'll all come in time.
Yep.
You know.
So did you have fun?
It's one of the coolest racetracks I've ever been on. I really did like it. Even though it was raining.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great race. I don't know. I didn't see a bunch of the race, but I enjoyed it.
They re-air it. You should go watch it sometime.
You know what? I'm not good at that either. We had it ranked in Darlington. We didn't do very well in Darlington, and I can't go back and even watch it. You're just mad and want to go the next week.
So, question, real quick before I forget this.
Go ahead.
In the car, were you in truck? Was raining? Were you getting wet in there?
Soaked.
Soaked. So you're soaked. You're in your fire suit.
There's a
you're strapped in.
There was a hard left hander there, and I can't remember exactly what turn it was. But every time you turn that, something would puddle on top of my helmet,
right.
And it would just run on the inside of my face shield down on that hard left.
I'm not laughing, but this is something we didn't know about. Yeah,
right. It's crazy.
Was there water sloshing around inside, or did you guys have holes put inside to drain it out?
I don't remember.
Okay, I'm just
steaming in
there. I'm just
burning
curious.
it up.
It's filling up in there. Like that's even worse,
Oh, I'm sure our wells aren't that good. There's probably plenty of holes.
So, were you a road race guy? Are you a road race guy?
That's the second road course I've ever been on.
Okay.
Oh, so the answer's no.
Did you go kart race, road race, or
Right.
Couldn't afford it.
just?
Let's go back. Where'd you get your start? I know your dad, Kenny.
Yeah, my dad, he raced growing up, when I was growing up, and then my older brother runs some street stocks and
Asphalt or dirt?
all asphalt.
Okay.
Didn't even know you're supposed to race on dirt. I thought that was for farming. So
Okay.
that's what we,
Pissed off half our crowd, but go ahead. I'm just kidding.
No,
just kidding.
no, you got to hear the story though.
Okay,
So,
sure.
I just didn't even know you raced on dirt growing up.
Okay.
We went to the asphalt track every weekend. And,
What track was it?
Altus Speedway.
Was it?
Up in Oklahoma. Altus
Speedway.
Altus
Okay.
Speedway. And ever since I could remember, I wanted to race cars. So I built a race car. Me and my dad and my brothers, we built a race car, and I actually was trying to build my dad a car, my brother a car, and me a car, and we couldn't afford to even build one, so we was trying to build all three. And my dad came to us and was like, "Look, here's a quarter, here's a quarter, here's a quarter." He gave my brother a quarter, me a quarter, and he took a quarter, and said, "We're all going to stop working on these. We can only afford to build one. Racing season starts in 2 weeks.
Right.
So we're going to flip this, odd man wins." And that's the car we're going to work on and get to the track. And
Really? That's how he did it?
That's how he did it.
Okay.
And we flipped. My brother, he was, I think, 7 years older than I was, and pretty good. I mean, he won a lot of races his first year. This would be his second year to race. And we flipped a coin, and I won, and they held their end of the bargain up. They pushed their cars over the side. We finished my little Ford Pinto. And
So it was a four-cylinder?
four-cylinder
Okay.
Pinto, and went to the racetrack, and we pulled up, and track guys.
Pinto, what year would that be?
I'm just trying to think.
That thing
I was
used to
13,
blow up,
so I was
man.
13 years old, so that was 20. That was 30 years ago.
30 years ago.
All right.
30 years
Okay.
ago. And
How'd you do?
well, they wouldn't let me race. We pulled up there, and they said you can't run. You're too young. Didn't have a driver's license. So we went across the street. My dad and my brother got in the Pinto and kicked the windshield out of it. We unloaded at the dirt track, and like I said, I was like, "What? We're at a dirt track, right?" Dad's never ran dirt. I've never even talked to anybody that ever raced dirt.
So you couldn't race at the asphalt track, just the heck with it. We'll go to the dirt
Drove
track.
across the street, still had a windshield.
Zero experience.
Zero experience.
Zero watching.
Yeah, nothing.
Okay, go ahead.
So the guy that owned that track is Martha Speedway was the name of that racetrack. Said, "Can can we race there?" And he's like, "Heck yeah, you can sign this form."
Sign this waiver.
So my dad signed it, and they got in there and kicked that windshield out. And I went on. On that track, it was just the difference between pits and the racetrack was just half buried tractor tires, right?
Right?
So we pull in there, unload, and I went on in turn 3 and went off on turn 4 and hit the wall straight on.
Ta-da! Welcome to the dirt track race. So we went back and got the other car and built that.
Actually, by the end of that night, I think we were just packing the truck.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right.
And I still hit the wall.
Okay.
Um,
It's good to get that out of the way early, Cory.
But no,
Yeah, get that,
I ran there until we blew that motor up that year, and it was a lot of fun.
Did you win? Did you win there or not?
No, best finish I think was 4th.
That's pretty good. For
But I did everything except roller coaster. I rolled down on the side of that wall. I almost flipped. I mean, that was the wild. I jumped more track. Throttle stuck. Well, not throttle. I'm sorry. I had the windshield come down. It's
Yeah.
like when you just had a bar with your 2 gauges.
Right.
wrapped around it.
Yep.
and my window net came down, and it went through my steering wheel and laid on top of that bar, and I couldn't turn the wheel. I ended up jumping tractor tires,
Right.
like 2 in the infield, and jumped off the end of the bank. And if the battery box didn't break out, I'd probably just kept going. You know.
So you had a good time doing that.
Loved it. I loved it. I loved it. But,
And you're 13 at the time?
I think I just turned 14.
Okay.
Adrenaline was probably a little
Sure.
high when all of that was
Yeah,
going on.
my birthday is in July, so,
Alright.
so I turned 14 doing that, and then the next year we went to the asphalt track.
So a question I like to ask, so you're at that age and you go to school and your friends are like, so what are you doing? How you been? And you're like, well, I'm racing cars. What was the reaction like to people in school?
It was pretty cool. We had a lot of success on the asphalt track, and
Okay.
so we was in the paper a lot. And actually, I got kicked out of football.
What'd you kick out of football for?
Well, so I won a Spooker National up there in Oklahoma.
What?
Spooker National, that's what they call the big weekend
Okay,
on,
okay.
on Halloween weekend. And
Okay, a spooker.
Spooker, okay.
Spooker National.
Thank you.
And you know, it's still in a small class, but
Right.
it was still, you know, it was a good run for us. And anyway, we came back, and the football coach, we was in the paper the next morning on a Monday morning, and coach came in and said, you know, there's something about some rules that if you get paid to play a sport, you're considered a professional.
Oh, really?
And then I was playing an amateur sport, and you can't do that. So they
But
said,
even
Give
though
me a
it's a
little
different
more
sport?
volume in your voice.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they said you got to pick
So
one.
soft spoken.
Yeah, Texan. It's slow, easy Texan.
I know,
Like
and
that.
me and you are we're
Idiots.
knuckleheads. We're wide open here.
We're like, yeah.
I'm getting ready to have another beer.
Shocking.
Yeah, so that's
All right.
what happened. They said you gotta pick one. You can't.
Even though it had nothing to do with high school. Okay.
Yep.
Even though it was a totally different sport.
Did it? They said you
All
can't.
right.
Yeah, you can't do professional sport and amateur sport at the same time. Consider it professional if you get paid.
All right, well, have a good season, coach. See ya.
That's what I
Go
said.
racing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, so you did that, and then where did you progress from there?
I stayed there, and then actually it's a great story because by the time we got into, I wanted to move up to late models, couldn't afford one, so built one. And the first year
I'm
that
noticing a trend with you here. But go
Listen to
ahead.
this, kids.
I couldn't
can't
afford
afford
one.
it, you build it.
You know, my
Go ahead.
dad, if nothing else, I mean, my dad, he taught us how to build things, and
Right.
you know, all my brothers are so talented, and I mean,
Fabricators, welders,
fabricators.
mechanics.
We, you know, we haven't been around the trucks very long, but we build our own chassis. We do it all right there in house in
Wow.
Texas. So my brothers are
Put your own bodies on too
Yeah,
and everything?
yeah.
Jeez,
Yeah,
one-stop shop.
one-stop shop. We do everything except the engines. You know,
Okay.
so and the center sections, we're still working on getting our jig
Mhm.
built up for the center sections. The front, rear clips, it all comes out of our shop. So and the bodies.
Right, so you're going. So you're going to move up to late models, and then from
Yeah,
there.
so our
So you built-
sponsor now with Advanced Auto Parts with CarQuest, the guy who kind of got us tied in with Advanced Auto Parts owned the racetrack. At that time, we was running for a championship back in 2002 at Wichita Falls, Texas, which is North Texas, on Friday nights, and then Saturday nights we'd run out to Speedway. So we was running 2 nights a weekend.
That's good.
And I was running for the championship, points championship at both of them, and ended up winning both championships.
Did you really?
Yeah, late model championship.
Wow.
In a homemade car.
Well, let's cheers to that.
Yeah,
Wow.
cheers.
Heck yeah, 2 championships in
And-
one season.
Yeah, so
Tail
it was
end.
kind of neat. We call that the limited late model series.
Okay.
It was still the Camaro stocks.
Sure.
Style.
Front end, yeah.
Yeah. And then after that, I went to the Romco days, super late models. We call them Romco, USRA, USRA. They changed the names a few times, but yeah. So we got into the traveling series, and then race when we could. We always raced 3 classes above what we could afford, but.
But you won championships and races.
Yeah, won a lot of races.
Right.
The super late models, I thought I knew how to build race cars and set up race cars until you get into the traveling series and realize you're
Oops.
dumb as hell.
Well, it just gets to be so competitive at that level. You know, I
Well,
say
it is racing. I mean, the money changes too. So.
Yeah, and the money changes, and you got to spend more money to make more money. It's the same thing as NASCAR or trucks or whatever. How fast you want to go, how much cash you got, right? I mean.
If nothing else, it allowed me and my family. Even then, we were spread out all over the country and all over Texas, and some was in San Antonio, some was in Austin, some was in North Texas, and every weekend with the traveling series, my family is at the racetrack.
Right.
So very cool. You know, every time we talk about it, it still brings tears to my dad's eyes because it's kept our family together.
Yeah. It is a bonding thing because I know generations.
Cool.
Well, you know how hard you work.
You know, hard you work, and then you're all in it together in the family name. Like, you know, him and his dad raced. I grew up in racing. My dad's stepfather raced. My uncle's a starter up in Buffalo. But it's that bond that we still, to this day.
When I SCCA
56.
raced, I remember it was me and my dad. That was it. And, you know, my dad was kind of mechanic, crew chief, and I was also mechanic, driver,
Pain in the ass.
crew chief, pain in the ass, absolutely. And, you know, I can remember I would be yelling at my dad,
Yeah.
and then we'd drive home after the race, and I'd be apologizing to him. I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry. I
And then
did
he'd
it."
let you out halfway home and
I'm
let
like,
you walk.
That was, I would be telling him how much of a knob I was. I was
But
just
you-
a dick. I'm sorry, Dad. I know you're helping me.
But you put the helmet on.
Well, your adrenaline, you know, I mean, I'm sure you've been through stuff like that, right?
Well, all right, I got one. Your wife Sherry's here.
Yes,
Sherry, does he change when he puts the helmet on? Is there a transformation a little bit? Or is he still pretty much
Actually, he's pretty calm. And
really calm? All right, well, he's
Pretty calm here.
He's pretty calm, low key here.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
this is wired up for me.
Really? We're gonna put a tack on your ass. That's what a broadcast.
Maybe I ought to get some rain going here.
Perfect. That's good. So now you go through that, and there's a great story, and I know it, but I want you to tell it. You went to buy a truck. Is this what happened? And
Yeah.
how you got into the truck?
Well, so there was a kid that we were running in Austin at the track's not there anymore, and Bailey Curry.
Bailey, yep.
I ran against him for a long time. Didn't really know him that well. Didn't have really a personal relationship, but always had a lot of respect for him. Him and his dad both. They were fast. I mean, you could not qualify that kid. That kid just blow your ass away there in qualifying, and you just couldn't figure out how he'd get that fast for that lap. He just killed the field. And I think a race, he finished second or something, and I won it. And they were tearing down. I think it was in a pro late race in 4 years ago, 5 years ago. So, anyway, they were tearing motors down that were sealed, so we was all frustrated about it. And instead of not getting the trophy, I just walked out of the tag area. And
You left tack?
just sitting out there watching them tear
Oh,
the
okay.
truck
Oh,
down,
okay.
tearing the car down.
Sure.
Well, they might have been pumping them or something. They weren't doing too bad. We just
Right, you're checking the motor,
we had
right?
to check the motors out. And so we just kind of walk out there, and Bailey's dad, Mark Curry, was leaning up against the car, and I was leaning on him, and I just heard that he had a ride, for the truck series. So I said congratulations, and he said, well, that thing kind of fell through, and with our company, we had some success, not the success that would take us NASCAR racing, I didn't think, but we had some success in it. And I asked him, I was like, well, what kind of money are you talking about? He was trying to make Martinsville and Phoenix and then Miami.
Okay.
The last 3 races
Yeah.
of the year.
To go to-
And
yeah.
I just kind of looked back at him, and he told me how much he was trying to get, and I said, hell, let's go. So I put him, I gave him some money to help him get to Martinsville. And
So you were a sponsor?
yeah, I tried
okay.
I was 20 once, right? I think it was not. No, it was 20, I think, at the time. I was that age. Been trying to race NASCAR my whole life. That was the only reason I went to work.
Right.
Okay.
So you became a sponsor.
Okay, I'm gonna say, there you go again, kids. That's it. We all have that in common. That's
What's
all
that?
I've been doing my whole life.
What?
Yeah,
Is
just
trying to be in NASCAR.
Sure. Yeah, we
No,
did.
you know,
never-
We all everyone has their story.
And I was.
I can't see. I never tried to drive. I couldn't drive a red hot nail on a snowman's ass. But so I go to the fab end of it.
Sure. Well, I tried it, and only because I was an announcer writer, I want to see what it was like. And I was good for 4 races, and then it ended horribly on the back stretch at
Well,
Perry.
not NASCAR. You didn't.
No, not, but on the back stretch of Wyoming County Speedway.
Well,
terribly.
We're talking about NASCAR.
Okay, I'm just
you
saying.
got into NASCAR because you couldn't drive.
I didn't really want to drive. Why
got
did I was never to drive? Why does he do this?
I mean, we're talking to a guy who got into NASCAR because he could drive.
Could drive, obviously.
He's actually
Yeah.
won some.
That had nothing to do with it.
Great. Okay. So anyhow, so you sponsor. I like this guy. He's funny. So you ended up sponsoring Bailey Curry.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
for 3 races,
Yeah.
and then that led to you doing what?
That was the only stipulations, and then my brothers got to go watch. And
Perfect.
he gave us some hot passes, and we walked down and looked at the truck he was going to get into, and you know the rules are at NASCAR. You got to have license,
Oh, yeah.
things like that. You
Yep.
know, we walked up on this thing, and we were like, "Oh hell!" Probably the reason I could afford it because it didn't need to be there, you know, on the truck, and you know, we felt bad. We felt like it was unsafe, and we kind of went to work on it and helped them, and you know, NASCAR allowed us.
You needed a tetanus shot before you worked out.
Yeah, it was one of those things, you know, and you know, but the kid was still there. I was still happy for him, still glad to be part of it. It's the first time I ever even got to be on pit road, you know, myself, and but it's still frustrating, you know, that he had that chance, and he did really good. I mean, and what he had to work with, it's still like today. I mean, what he drives, he gets every inch out of that car. And
Are you ready for an upgrade? Need to refresh that patio? Want to add more fun to your home? Lake Norman Patio and Game Rooms makes it fun to stay at home. We offer a huge selection of high-quality outdoor furniture, pool tables, shuffleboard, ping pong, and much, much more. Your oasis awaits. So don't miss the boat. Take your patio or game room up to the next level. Lake Norman Patio and Game Rooms. Stop in today or visit us online at lknpatio.com.
so the next morning, it was early in Martinsville. I think you had to be at the track at 6 o'clock after practice that day, you know, the day before, and just walking down the road and just heard about the Ilmore engines, right? The next year, they're going to the Ilmore package, and
I was probably walking down the road at 6 o'clock in the morning too at some point in time in Martinsville.
Just coming home.
yeah, this is on pit road.
Okay.
But I walked down there, and they had the 19 truck from BKR.
Okay.
Oh, yep.
I was actually just watching them work, just the way that everybody
Oh,
had.
Brad Kozlowski
Yeah.
Racing.
And
Okay.
they had everybody had their job. You know, they were bolt checking that thing, changing
Very
orders
organized.
out.
Funded,
amazing
organized,
to watch.
yeah.
First time I ever been around any of that, and I was just sitting there with my arms crossed watching it, and the guy walks up beside me and starts talking to me, and I was like, "Man, this is cool, and how you'll have everything organized and clean, and you know, it's a production." And,
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, it's a shame that, you know, this is our last year." And I just started asking some questions. We'll come up to be Jeremy Thompson, which was Brad Keselowski's manager. And I asked him how much truck costs, and I asked him how much a motor's going to cost, and I said, "I'll take 2 of them." And
Wait. This is on pit road?
on pit road.
And this is what you said to him? So you
Yeah.
bought a truck and 2 motors?
No,
You bought 2
no.
motors?
I knew what the motor's going to cost
Okay.
because you had to order from Ilmore.
You bought 2
Right.
trucks.
I asked him how much I could buy a truck for, short track truck, because I wanted to come back to Martinsville
Sure,
next
okay,
year and
yeah.
race. And he kind of looked at me like I was crazy, and I was like, "No, I'm serious. I'll take one." And because he said he's selling his fleet, and he said, "I'll talk to you in Phoenix." And he said, "You coming to Phoenix?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll come to Phoenix." So I go to Phoenix, and he's like, "You're serious about this? Like, you don't have anybody in NASCAR?" I was like, "No, I don't know anybody in NASCAR, but I'll take a car. I'll take 1 truck."
Did you at least dicker a little with him? Like if he said, you know,
Did you banter? Did you bargain with
50,000, did you go, you're going out of business, man. I'm going to give you
Right.
40.
Fire sale.
Or 40.
No. Probably should have.
You need a little help.
Well,
No, but go ahead.
That's a going out of business sale.
I mean, we might have.
Brad doesn't watch, so I'm okay with this.
There might have been a little bit.
bit.
There might have been a little bit back and forth, but
So I'm intrigued now. Like I know the details. I kind of heard the quick version. So you said I'll buy a truck. Go to Phoenix, and so you bought
2 trucks,
2 trucks.
2 short track trucks.
Got it.
No, I bought a short track truck and an intermediate truck.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Just the
we go to Phoenix,
Okay,
and then
yeah.
I was like, "What are you going to do with your pit boxes?" I mean, I didn't have pit boxes. I didn't have any of that. And
I knew
he
this was
said,
coming. I knew this was
and
coming.
he said, "Well, here it is." So I walked over there and looked at the pit boxes, and I said, "What would you sell this for?" He said, "How much do you want of it?" I said, "All of it. I'll take everything, all the tools in it. Don't take scales out. Don't take sway bars out of it. I want this pit box." I don't know what was in there, but I knew it was probably shit we needed.
Right.
So I said,
It was the shit we needed.
Well, he's right.
He's right.
I know nothing
He's
about.
right,
I
okay.
knew nothing about these.
Sherry,
And,
were you involved with us, Sherry? Did you know all this was going on?
No, he came home and said, "I just bought 3 trucks or 2 trucks." I was
In a
like,
pit
In a
box.
pit box.
Well, this is at Phoenix a week later.
All right. Still. Okay.
So anyway,
God, I wish I would have met you then.
you can be general
So
manager.
he said, "Come see me
Yeah.
after the season, and you know, can't sell the trucks right now."
Yeah.
So I'd have taken them home, you know. And
You're nuts. I like it.
Well, I mean, it's NASCAR, right?
I know,
That's how you're going to do it,
It's
right?
racing.
First, if you
Right?
go
It's
all out,
racing. You got to
so-
go get good equipment if you want to run up. If you're going to run with them guys, you knew you were getting good equipment.
That's
Yeah.
what it was.
But
You're
you-
buying knowledge. right?
You're buying stuff that's good, and you're buying knowledge. You're buying proven stuff.
And relationships.
Well, in listening to
Yeah.
you, you've already done more with less than guys with more. Is that safe to say? In championships
Well,
and stuff you did?
There's weeks I think that, and then there's weeks that I
Okay.
don't think
All right, well, then when you're in your late model days. So you've already been doing that. All right, so you buy the trucks.
Yeah, so I go up to anyway, by the time I get up there to pick up those 2 trucks, we actually added one more. So I was going up there to pick 3 trucks up.
Go ahead. This is
And
awesome.
so I go up there, and that's when I meet Shane. Actually, I think I meet Shane at Phoenix,
Shane.
which is my crew chief now.
Okay.
He worked for Brad Kozlowski for about
Mhm.
11 years, and so I go up and I meet Brad, and we sit around and talk. We're talking, and he's
Sure.
walking me through the shop and showing me what he's going to do with his, it's his 3D company.
Did you
Yeah.
buy the shop or no?
No,
I was just
but it was
checking. I
kind of
wanna
odd.
make sure.
He was fixing to, he was cleaning all these trucks out. I think at the time there was, I don't know, 48 trucks in that shop. It was amazing. I've never been in a shop like that,
Sure.
so never been in a NASCAR shop.
Right.
I mean, now they're like Candyland, So
It is. It's a lot like Candyland.
it
For
is-
racers.
yeah,
For
it
racers,
is. It's amazing,
Yeah.
and so I get up there to pick up those 3 trucks, and then by the time I left, he was.
Tell me. I want to know.
Well, he
Okay.
he was installing a bunch of equipment in the
Yeah.
shop,
Yeah?
and I build power
His
plants.
fancy machining equipment.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, very cool stuff too, and I build power plants, refineries, air separation plants, chemical
Right.
plants. Is what I do is build things, and
Okay.
I was like, man, you got a lot of work to do to put power in here, and a lot of work. 72,000 square feet is what he had.
Yeah.
And I asked him kind of how he's doing that. And he's always getting bids, and I mean, they got to put substations in. Things putting a 75 kVA outside.
Did you get some back out of it for?
Did
Well,
you,
I
so,
said-
you
I
said- so go ahead.
So he asked me. I asked him who's putting it in. He said he's going to start getting bids, and I said, well, how about I do it and just trade you? I'll pay for this, and you give me all the shit in the shop. So
So you.
me and
Did it go down? Is that how?
it went down. He gave me. He helped me more than what I did him. I mean, I went in there and helped him try to get his.
This is a story.
This is amazing.
Yes,
Brad
that's
is
so
amazing.
awesome. Brad's a good guy.
He is a fantastic guy. Hopefully I helped him, but I don't think I'll ever be able to repay him back for what he gave me. Because from the pull down machines to the chassis dynos to the chassis
You
plates,
got all that too?
everything.
It's
Oh, not the trucks. No, this is half. This
Okay.
wasn't trucks. This was just parts. And,
I'm saying
Right,
all
right.
the equipment. that was in there.
equipment
Equipment,
that he was
pit
never going
box,
to use again. No.
Right, yeah, he's done.
Yeah, so I bought the trucks from him,
Right.
and then me and my brothers and my dad went up to came up in Mooresville, and stayed about 6 months and wired shop, and
So you took the shit out of the shop, like you said, and you put your stuff in there and did all the stuff.
And made his machines run.
Wow.
yeah, so
Amazing.
yeah,
That's
And
a great
then-
story.
and then but we
So
still only had 3
Is that in
trucks.
really good shape? Because Brad told me when I'm done with NASCAR, I could be a maintenance guy up there. Hopefully it's in good
Oh, it's a
shape.
beautiful facility.
Yeah.
Everything in that place was absolutely first class.
So you're talking about your family. What did they say? So, hey guys, guess what? We're going truck racing. What did your family say?
That's a very Texas hood.
You went from a coin flip to a pony stock to in the wall to this, that, and now you own a truck series team. And the family was like, yeah, okay.
No, that's how we owned half the trucks.
Half the trucks. Okay, got it.
You want to hear the rest of the story?
So, God, yeah, right on.
Absolutely.
So, man, I think we've made Martinsville and one more race, and I'm like, man, I got to do Daytona, right?
Mm.
So by this time, I've got Shane, which Shane was still going to stay with Brad, right? Brad had plans for him.
Yeah.
And Shane, I got to know Shane really well through all this exchange, and somehow Brad and him. I mean, somehow Shane decided to come with me, which I don't know.
So you got the crew chief out of the
Now I
shop.
got the crew chief out of the deal, who lives here. His family lives here.
Yeah.
Now they got to move to Texas.
Sure,
So
yeah.
that's a big
Right,
change.
great,
but,
yeah.
but then I wanted to do Daytona, right? That's the ultimate goal.
Why not? Yeah. You're on a roll.
It's a holy grail.
Yeah, so the grill. And So I was like, Shane, we got to have a super speedway truck now. So a lot of this stuff went to somebody else, you know, and so I hopped on a plane, flew up there and looked at this truck, bought the truck. Well, everything else was in this shop, from the hauler to, I think, 13 more trucks, all the rear ends, all the sway bars, all the spindles. I mean, everything in this shop. It was massive. Like I say, even the hauler.
Mm-hmm.
And 13 more trucks. And I was like, yeah, I got to go with all this too.
Wait a minute. Who'd you buy that from?
The guy he sold it to.
Okay. Do you remember his name, or not? Did you
So
race
it
for a while,
was
or
still
not?
Brad stuff.
No, Brett sold it. I just chased it down.
But it was
Right,
still,
right.
Brad stuff.
Yeah. Well, it was all Brett stuff, so everything that Brad
So
sold.
because so Shane knew what it was.
Shane knew where it was, and so I ended up getting
So
a hauler,
you went up to get
a truck,
a
truck, and it,
Daytona truck, and you
Yeah.
end up with
13? 13 more.
13. Okay.
No, it'd be 14 more, because I think we got 18 trucks, and those were 4.
Are you renting them out yet?
Huh.
All right. Question, Sherry, did you know?
Well, she knows, because we spent our life savings getting all this.
Oh, all right. Wow.
Yeah, that's exactly the look she gave me,
After
too.
the fact. I know things afterwards. By the way, guess what I did today?
By the way, guess what I did today? Beautiful. Oh my God.
You know, we've been married, going to be 25 years in July.
God bless. Good.
Yeah, best thing I ever
That'd
did.
be a world record in my family. That's good.
July what? 12.
July 12th. And we've raced ever since we've known each other. We've raced, right? And
So where'd you guys meet?
swimming pool.
Ooh, that's a whole nother show.
Yeah.
What, junior high or what?
No,
Oh, okay.
well, I just graduated high school.
Oh, okay.
And I was a school teacher.
You're a school teacher,
School
okay?
teacher.
This
Yeah.
does not sound good.
No, it sounds good.
But we've raced.
So you graduated
Were you a
high
student?
school. You graduated high school.
Wait, you
She's
were a
school
student?
teacher. Yeah, I was gonna say
Were
you're
you a
not like
student?
out.
15
No,
years
no,
old.
no, I'm not in high school.
I mean, you went on 14 trucks at once. I don't know what the hell.
That is a whole other show.
Welcome to TMZ.
This is a small town up in North Texas,
Okay.
and
He
Her
was,
grand-
a,
her-
he was a lifeguard, and I was at the
lifeguard.
swimming pool.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, got it. A lifeguard.
her grandmother, her grandparents lived up there, and she was
Got
out
it.
visiting.
Okay,
She was from Houston, and
Perfect.
yeah, so
got it. 25 years. God
We're
bless.
living together 3 weeks later.
Nice job. Parents must have loved it.
No.
3 weeks later, you were living together? I guess
well,
y'all liked each
because she
other.
lived in Houston, right?
Right?
Over 600 miles away from where we
Right,
were.
that ain't gonna work.
I'm going to ask you, I know you're off camera, but did you like racing? Did you know anything about it when you met Cory or no?
I had no clue.
Perfect. That's the perfect girl like that.
And it wasn't easy the first
No, I'm
10
sure.
years.
10 years.
First 10 years,
sure.
racing was an issue, and
Yeah.
then, and you know, so when I opened up Preferred Industrial Contractors, you know, I couldn't race. It was banking issues, right?
Sure.
I mean, in order to get the financing to run a business like this, they knew that I raced because they walked in the shop and there's race cars, and
Well,
they're like, "Yeah, we're not doing that." You know? So, you know, they're loaning me money, and I got to pay it back. And if something happens to you, you not do that. So,
okay, got it.
Right.
So I gave them,
Danger factor. Okay,
I
got
gave
it.
them 2 years, and so it was only 2 years that we hadn't raced in our marriage. And after that 2 years, she looked at me the day that contract stopped at the bank. She was like, "Go buy you a damn car."
That's awesome.
Yeah, we need to go back to.
That's what you call, ladies and gentlemen, a keeper. In
Yeah.
this sport, it's a keeper. Okay, so amazing story how you bought all. I mean, I heard bits and pieces, but I didn't. I wanted you to tell me because
I had none of this.
I want because just I do try to do some research because Warren's the pretty face of this deal. He'll ask him, right? And so I did a little research, but
And I
didn't-
asked him about his
I
brake
know.
problem and stuff, proportioning valves and, check valves.
which
and
I will
things.
look up when we get done with the show because I have no
Yeah.
idea what the hell he's talking about. But no, it's,
I want to help him fix his brakes.
it's perfect. I get it. But
I want him to race better.
and it's like the story's great. Like you just
I'm
like
ready to fly out by him and help his guys hang a body on one of these trucks to get some more side
You're
force.
the
on
guy to
three
do
trucks,
that,
what
yeah.
he needs.
Yeah, well, we
And I can do that because Penske doesn't have any trucks. I could go out there and I could actually help you hang that body
on your off time, Warren,
with my aerodynamic.
engineering capabilities.
Right.
Yeah, which you are damn good at. I'll never take
I'm
credit.
okay.
Oh come on,
I
go get the ring
I
box.
don't
Show them all the
want-
rings. Anyway.
I don't do that.
All right, so Cory, this story is just amazing. Like you just went to start out with buying one, and you ended up with 14
I
trucks.
think we got 18.
Oh my God,
You
18.
have 18 now.
And one
I
drive.
think to have 19s. We're
Okay.
just starting to build them from scratch now. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. What do people? In your hometown? Where'd you put them all? First of all, did you have a shop already?
Yeah. So in our shop, I've got a facility that's about 52,000 square feet, and we used about 25,000 of it for. It's all prefab pipe fabrication.
Just in case I needed a race shop, you had that other. Just in case.
Well, I mean,
Good move.
I really ought to be building pipe in that thing,
Okay.
but
Right.
now we kind of shrunk the pipe fabrication down to about 16,000
Right.
square feet, and then 25,000 of it's
All right,
race shop.
so now you're talking
What kind of
about.
pipe stuff?
All right, let's talk real quick. So Preferred Industrial Contractors. Let's see what does it, what does the
okay.
company do, and then you'll.
Yeah.
We started out as a welding specialty company,
Mhm.
doing pipe spools and boiler repairs and
Right. I was
especially
a union boilermaker for 8 years.
Yeah, so you know what
Yeah.
we're talking about. Yeah, it's just
High pressure stuff.
high pressure stuff. We got an R stamp, an S stamp, a U
Oh,
stamp.
yeah.
So we did a lot of code repairs for the state that.
Spools mostly, or do you work on like
A little bit
steam?
pressure vessels. We build pressure vessels. We repair pressure vessels. Repair boilers.
Mostly commercial, obviously.
All industrial, no commercial.
All
All
industrial.
industrial. Everything's industrial. Most of
Big
everything
stuff.
we do, big stuff. Everything we do is inside battery limits on these plants.
Okay.
Geez,
And
you
then
can
we-
go there and you could work on the trucks. You could help in this other business. Kim,
I work on a truck.
And we're very diversified.
I wouldn't
so-
mind making a spool because you can do that on a bench and just weld.
So we're pretty diversified. We do the welding, we do
Yeah.
the I&E, we do the electrical, which is how we got it.
X-ray quality stuff.
Every bit of it. Everybody who works for us has been put through a lab, and
So who's your customer base? What do you do these
I
things
mean
for?
it's tier A customers like Praxair, Lindy, Shell,
Praxair, Lindy, Shell.
Yeah.
Air Liquide.
Yeah, they've done okay in this business. world.
Lanxess, yeah. So we got
Good.
great customers. They got Calpine's one of our
Yeah.
big customers. They're one of the largest independent power producers.
Yeah.
in
I was
the
going to say
country.
it's power, oil, and
Gas.
energy and gas. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got great relationships with them. They've helped us be extremely successful. So very blessed to have the clients we have.
Very nice.
So some comments. We got one guy who wants to. What's it take to be on the pit crew? Andrew, a lot of hard work and started the local track. Work your way up.
And you got to work for beer.
You gotta work for beer. It is good to go
You
work
get
for
a beer and a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Some
We
Cheetos.
have
Yeah.
guys
You get a
that-
13-second stop, we'll give you a piece of cheesecake.
of course, elevated takes care of all the wall stuff, but no, all the guys in the shop that's building these trucks are my brothers and
Your
friends.
so you have a family business and family race
Yes,
team.
yeah,
Great.
and they come to the shop at night and work on these trucks and prepare them, and
So you still have the short track mentality.
well, we don't have a choice.
Okay, I'm just, but no, it's good. I like
Yeah,
it.
no,
It's
we
amazing.
do. We
Yeah, 'cause
so
a lot of
we've
our
been-
viewers are of
We've
that man
been
short track.
so busy with work here the last few days or the last few months that after Daytona, and it's really been a struggle for us since Daytona because we lost that. My brothers are project managers, running crews, and running outages and shutdowns, and they haven't been able to spend time in the shop. So Shane is just Shane and the few people that's there to help him, which is. We had only one. Now we're up to at least two more.
Right.
One body guy that came back, Drew. He came from Stuart Haas. He
Okay.
just started about 3 weeks ago, so he's down there. He's helping us on the bodies. And
Was he originally from Texas and moved back?
no,
or-
he just came down
just
to visit
wanted to
one
do
day.
it.
It was very cool. He was at Stuart Haas. I think he did Kevin Harvick's left sides on the
Okay.
spot. And he come down the shop one day and just kind of visit, spend the weekend, check it out. I think he knew Shane and.
Probably a single guy.
Yep, same
Yeah,
guy,
perfect.
and he left there, and we were actually at Stuart Haas setting the seat in for Chase Briscoe for Bristol.
Bristol, that's right. You raced your
And
track.
I didn't even
Oh,
know this
okay.
kid, and he walked up and he's like, I just put the notice in. He goes, I'm going to come work for you. So I'm like, okay then, there we go.
Nice to meet you.
And what I'm
Well,
doing,
I say it like this.
He says cool.
You'd rather have people that want
Want
to
to
work
work,
for.
yeah.
I mean, he's so cool.
Yeah. And if he's a young guy,
Yeah, he
they're
is.
always
Smart,
the best. because
talented.
They don't care if they stay there all night, and they usually got nothing.
he doesn't have a choice. He lives there.
Right.
He got an RV park. I mean, a
Perfect.
RV park right beside the shop, and that's where people live. 'Cause-
Perfect.
yeah, okay, yeah.
Nice.
And that's what I did
Yeah.
when I got here.
Oh, it's
You
cool.
in an RV park?
And he's
I was
great
on a
kid.
couch.
No, I was on your couch a lot of nights.
Well, I was on another couch.
The half
So-
couch.
I was on a couch in a garage.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yep, been there.
No, and before that we had another guy down there that he was getting homesick, but
Right.
also still a really great talented kid that was hanging our bodies before that. And, so been blessed to have some great people, some good talent.
Well, Cory, there's a lot of guys available right now. I mean, it's
gonna be
just-
more.
Well, there's gonna be more, and that was my next camp. But if you're doing what you're doing and you're looking to go, I mean,
Well, that's our goals. I mean,
Yeah.
I want to drive because it's in me, but my goal is to have a successful race team,
Sure.
that's running for championships and winning races. And you never get there as fast. I mean, I think Tom, he's with Surge Connections.
Right.
He came down there and looked, and I think he was actually blown away by
Mhm.
how far we've came in a short period of time. But we still haven't even run it down full season.
Right.
We're preparing ourselves and we're doing what we can.
That's good.
And the investments going into the shop and the equipment. The races are hard to make too, but we're doing the best we can.
Mike Wallace is watching, right? Mike says, how about a Mike Wallace stand up for the background? Well, Mike, if you give us one,
Yeah.
we'll use it. unless you want to come one night and just kind of. Well, we had Mike Wallace on, and we had a Kenny, and we had Rusty, so the brothers were.
That's cool.
Yeah, he was
Right.
great.
That's cool.
He was our first, top
Higher up,
big,
topper
big,
tier.
yeah, big time
Topper
guest
tier.
yeah, topper tier. Greg Frischman wants to know what's your favorite track.
Coda now.
You know what? I've been asked that question quite a bit, and up till the last time we went to Vegas, I always said Vegas. There's something cool about that racetrack, but man, that last wreck I had there hurt. Oh,
Don't they hurt?
man, that
Yeah.
one right there hurt, and I think even Shane, he's like, you need to quit saying that. Even my wife, I think, said, quit saying that's your favorite track.
Okay.
Because but I don't know what it is about that track. I like it. I like Texas. One's a little.
You had one of your
different,
best
but-
finishes there.
Daytona, third.
Yeah, I like Daytona. Daytona's neat. I mean,
Third
it's
place
either
one.
You finished third. What this year? Or the year before?
First
this
race
year.
of the season.
Daytona,
This
yeah.
year, huh?
Yeah, we were
Very nice.
Very nice.
We were leading on the last lap, coming to the green or checkered, and about 150.
You were
feet.
okay. I just remember.
And that's the road race?
No,
No,
that was
the-
the-
Oh,
the
okay,
beginning.
the big one.
yeah, the big
So,
one.
and I'm gonna be honest here because I'm thinking, wow, who's this kid, Cory Ryder? And then I did some back checking. I'm like, wow, okay, we got a veteran here, so that's good, and nothing wrong with it. I mean, Bobby Elson won the 500 when he was 50. So,
yeah,
and you're currently how old?
43.
43. Why not? But you can still do it.
Yeah.
That's good. You have the experience.
I remember where we were. I think it was Iowa. Man, all these kids are jumping out of these cars and falling out. Going well, even Daytona last year at the road course. I think we ran that in July. Or something.
Yeah, the stamina. Yeah.
Man, we get out
Good
there.
old July.
July.
Yeah. I mean, I think 15,
I threw that in there. I'm sorry.
10 or 12,
I like to
10 or
pick
12
them.
kids were going to the hospital,
Getting
going to
IVs.
Info Care Center. I
Yeah.
got out and was like, damn, that was hot. I mean, but
Well, you're from Texas, man.
Where's my beer?
yeah, that was what to do for sure. For sure, it's like
Mama, where's my beer? That was hot.
that race was
Mama.
different. I had blisters on my hand from the shifter, and I mean, just the heat was crazy. It was pretty hot.
Yeah, but you just got out and said, man, it was hot. And you were
Yeah.
fast.
Then you're done.
Yeah.
You're good.
Um,
Cheeseburger and a beer and you're there.
Mike Wallace says, I'm available to race his truck when you have an opening. There you go. There's Mike Wallace.
There you go. Sounds good.
Volunteering his services.
Call me.
Oh, Mike Wallace, come on, Agent Tim, make it happen. Oh. Hey, Mike, you got a lot of bourbon I saw that you got from that Buffalo Trace, so there's going to be a trade-off of that. That'll be good. And don't bring up the apartment thing. Anyhow, so you finished, that's right, third at Daytona.
Mm-hmm.
And you were leading. What was that like when you, give me your emotions when you're leading at Daytona thinking, oh my God, I can actually pull this off.
Shit, I'm in trouble.
Why?
Well, because when I was pushing Sheldon Creed down the backstretch, and it was a Jamie Murray was like, holy crap, look at I mean, I was waiting kind of to that moment. I knew it was coming to the white.
Mhm.
And then when you're that far up underneath somebody coming off a 4, I really couldn't see the wall. Next thing you know, I hit the wall, coming up right there at the checkered start-finish line. So when I jerked left to pass him, which I wasn't planning on doing, I was going to push him more,
Right.
but I was into the wall and I needed to get away from him.
Get off the wall.
And when I got down there, I thought Ben Rhodes was still going to be in front of me, but he wasn't. And when I came off, I shot by him and I went into turn 1 and it got real quiet and I went, oh, damn. So,
Yeah.
I knew I was in trouble. And that's only my second time I ever run a.
Oh, because you were out front.
Well,
Yeah.
here's experience speaking of. He knew you're in trouble because you don't really want to be leading with 2 or 3 to go.
Right.
you want to be in about third,
Right.
and they let you get away, and they.
I think I just scared everybody. He's already hit the wall, so everybody might have checked.
Because there's a game there. There's a game there.
Yeah, Daytona.
Drag the brake and
Yeah.
get slow and get fast, and when you see a guy like a rookie will all of a sudden he'll shoot way out.
I'm like, oh, I got this.
Yeah, I got this, and then they're way in
Nothing
trouble
to 13.
because they let him go,
Right.
and then everybody goes.
And I got a great spotter. He's fantastic. I really enjoy him spotting for us. His name's Steve. We get into turn one, and of course, you got quiet because I shot out in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And then he didn't say anything, and I'm like, "Am I wrecking? I just don't know what's going on." And I get through one, get through two, and I could only see I had the mirror messed up, and I could only see in the corners. And I look back, and Ben's probably 4 or 5 truck lengths behind me, and I get on the straightaway, and the only thing because I can't see him was couldn't see that far behind the truck. So I just hugged the yellow line, and about that time, I think I even pushed the buzz like, "Anybody here?" And he's like, "Man, I'm sorry, I froze." He's saying this going in.
Oh, great.
He's like, "Shit, sorry, I froze."
Where is everybody?
Yeah, well, it was kind of a shock on
Yeah.
everybody, and I think it's even a shock on Jamie McMurray up there. It's like, what the heck? And then Ben hit me and pushed me down the back stretch, and then
Right.
I got into 3. I think getting into the wall right there when I went underneath Creed, I think I got a little side force because we had a pretty big push
Yeah.
getting
Right.
into 3.
Yep.
If it was up to me, I'd have stayed on the white line and hugged that and just let them race. But see if they could get around me. And then by the time I come out of 4, I knew I was pretty much in trouble. But I saw Ben coming back in the corner and
Quickly.
and I could either block him or wreck us all. I should have wrecked us all, but
No, hell no. 30
but you
bad.
got 30
man. 30 bad.
Yeah, but if I could have won it though. I'd have been excited.
Wait,
And then Jordan Anderson had a good
Jordan
circuit.
Anderson,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was cool.
Yep.
I probably should have went down and wrecked him or something. but to see him.
Now you're just saying I should have just wrecked somebody.
I just didn't do anything. I just sat there.
That's all right. We still finished
but-
third.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was cool, but no, I knew better. I've watched that race my whole life, and I've seen people try to block coming to the checker.
Right.
It never works. So.
That's all right.
No,
Um,
it doesn't.
but yeah, what a cool day. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Well, that's good. Well, I want to say something. Your story's incredible.
Agreed.
I hope there's a bunch of people out there tonight that now know who Cory Roper is and his story, and you are looking for sponsorship, correct?
It's got to happen. Well,
Okay,
I got a
that's
great
fine.
spot. I got Alliance Aviation,
Mhm.
Wing Aviation,
Good.
CarQuest, Advance. Preferred my company,
Right.
the guys that allows us to do this. I mean, got great relationships. It's a cool experience. It's not without work. I mean, as everybody
Oh,
knows,
yeah.
Yeah.
but anything worth having is going to take work, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, what a cool experience.
Yeah.
Getting to live my best life and
Perfect.
getting to live with my wife, and we get to travel.
Sure, come up here. Just come up real quick. Just stand up. Come on.
Yeah.
Beautiful wife.
Beautiful wife.
You all kept your
Yeah.
coverage.
She
You know
is-
Tilly did that.
she is-
So
she is.
this is it's right there. There you go. So this is his wife, Sherry, who stood with him for 25 years through the thick and thin racing.
Right.
So cheers to you on that.
He was a lifeguard. He might have saved her one time.
Yeah, well, we've accomplished everything together. haven't
That's good. All right, that's good. So it's a good story. You have a great story, and you guys are awesome. And I tell you, I wish nothing but the best for you now. And you made a fan out of me today.
Absolutely.
I'm
Me
not-
too.
I'm not allowed to
Me
have
too,
fans.
man.
I'm not allowed.
Thank you
So-
for coming.
Yeah.
You can hear the bell tolling there. That is the Martinsville.
The next
clock.
time I see Brad, I'm going to tell him, man, did you rip that guy off, bro?
No, that man, he did it.
I would have
If it wasn't
tinkered
for
with
him-
you. I would have got them for half that price.
If it wasn't for Brad, I wouldn't be able to be here. So
That's
Yeah.
good. That's good. He was just being funny because he can.
no, I know. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
no.
as the bells chiming in, we appreciate everybody. Don't forget YouTube, Spotify, everything. Check out Cory with RoperRacing.com. RoperRacing.com. Great story. And what you heard tonight was new to both of us. So, Cory Roper, you made a fan of him. You made
Yep.
a total fan of him.
Thank
So
you.
we can
Cheers.
Right. Good night, everybody. Appreciate you. And
Good night.
see you on the flip side.
What do we say?
Oh, good night, Dick.
Say goodnight, Dick. You ever watch Laughing?
Yeah, say good night, Dick.
Good night, Dick.
Good night, Dick. There you go. Wow. Hey, another great show.
Great
Thank you
show.
so much, everybody,
Yep.
for tuning
Enjoyed
in.
it.
We appreciate it. We do this every Tuesday night. And Warren, I think the guests we've had have been fantastic.
Phenomenal.
And the people that are following us, we appreciate it. We're reaching 42,000 people a month. Can you believe that? And we appreciate you watching. And
Right. We're having fun. Hope everybody else enjoys it.
that's it. And it's just a fun show. Bucket of beer, guys sitting around talking about it. So keep tuning in. We appreciate it. Check out our store and everything. But we appreciate you people, and we will see you next week. Right, my friend?
Yes, sir.
All right. See you next week.